Okie boobers, Niitaniko Kutjaw, and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a relatively short video, and it's just going to be discussing announcements about my content, as well as clarifying some of the previous statements I've made in a few of my videos thus far. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I've made videos about both social issues as well as pop culture and entertainment, ranging from foreign music to webcomics. From time to time, I take a moment to evaluate my channel and the content I produce, and I've decided to make my channel here on YouTube strictly about social topics, specifically issues impacting the Native American community. I do discuss general issues on occasion that don't necessarily apply to only the Native community, but I focus primarily on the indigenous diaspora in my videos. Content relating to entertainment or media will mostly be published on my Patreon from now on, so if you liked my commentary on Tower of God or webcomics, I will be posting more of that type of content there, although not very often. Initially, I was going to have my media commentary shown on my main channel and just have it set apart by identifying each video as part of a separate series known as the Media Reflection. But I fear that creating a clear distinction between my controversial social commentary and my somewhat unrelated media commentary is essential to keep the focus of my channel on social issues, which is essentially why I even started a YouTube channel to begin with. Now, there will be times in which I discuss media commentary on my main channel and times where I have social commentary featured on my Patreon, and really the type of videos on my Patreon vary anyway. There will also be instances in which I have a video on both my main channel and my Patreon too, like when I post early videos to my Patreon before it's shown on YouTube. So the media reflection, of which I intend to update sporadically, will be moved almost entirely to my Patreon, and my YouTube channel will be mainly for social topics. And that concludes my announcements about the content here. Now, moving on to the clarification part. I made a statement in one of my videos discussing ethnic cleansing within a Native American community, which I feel I should clarify. One of the biggest myths about Native Americans that is propagated by the United States government and individual citizens alike is that we make up less than 1% of the American population. This is a lie. There are literally millions of us, we just don't fill out the census or we are racially misidentified. I can talk in depth about these things for hours, but I'll keep it very simple. Indigenous Americans don't trust the US government for self-explanatory reasons, and we refuse to complete the census. I know I won't. And as far as racial misidentification is concerned, as I've already stated, most of the people who live on reservations aren't indigenous, and so many indigenous people are classified as being of African origin because we are also melanated. And I know that there's immense pushback going on about indigenous people being African, which not only doesn't make any objective logical sense, but which actually erases indigenous identity. I will be uploading a video soon discussing this exact issue, the issue of non-indigenous people erasing our identity and why this is happening. So if you want to watch that video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on the notifications so you'll know when I do upload that video. But yeah, the clarification I wanted to make regarding the claim of Native Americans making up less than 1% of the total population of the United States is that this is what it simply says on paper. And as we all know, what the government claims and what's actually true are two very different things. So when I made this statement, I was simply repeating a general claim that is by no means true. So Native Americans make up far more than just 1% of the US population. Another thing I want to clarify relates to my video about why Latinos aren't Native American in the classical sense of the term. What I don't say in the video is that Latinos can in fact be mixed with African blood. That doesn't necessarily mean they are African, as I always say, but that there are, for example, Guatemalans with Caucasian ancestors as well as Guatemalans with African ancestors. Some Central and South Americans have pale skin, yes, but others are richly melanated, and many of them are actual direct descendants from Africa from the transatlantic slave trade. Again, this is yet another complex topic that can't fairly be summed up in a mere few words, but I wanted to clarify that I am aware that Latinos could have either Caucasian or African blood. And I know the ones with African blood are technically called Hispanic, but Latino and Hispanic are terms that tend to be used interchangeably, unfortunately, which is a bit of an issue. It was also stated in my ethnic cleansing series, which definitely won't be my last time discussing the topic, that some indigenous people are conscientiously participating in biological self-ethnic cleansing. But I want to emphasize that the only so-called Native Americans who are jumping through elaborate hoops to watch their ethnicity out of existence are almost exclusively the Caucasians and Latinos who are living on reservations and assuming our identity. It's relatively rare for a true Native American with brown skin, a large nose, and full lips to hate themselves, so such individuals being seen in romantic partnerships with Caucasians is far and in between. But the few true Native Americans who do this should be ashamed of themselves, and really they're the ones I'm referring to when I make this statement. Almost none of the people living on Native reservations today are actual Native Americans. I want to make that very clear. And the last thing I wanted to say concerns Jesse Washington. The video I uploaded on him is still the most popular video on my channel for the time being. And although I would like for people to watch some of my other videos, I really feel good that Jesse's memory is withstanding. The video itself was a very surface level video about the Waco horror and is definitely didn't address many in-depth things. So that video won't be my last time discussing the Waco horror. So these were the things I wanted to give some clarification to if you are a bluebird, i.e. a supporter of the blue movement, and you want me to clarify something I've stated, you can send me an email or comment down below. While I can't promise that I will definitely answer everyone's questions, I will do my best to respond to them as best I can. I have also linked all the videos I mentioned in the description box below. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notifications so you'll know when I upload a video, and if you haven't already, visit my blog to learn more about the reparations and decolonization movement known as the Blue Movement. And with that being said, I'm Cut Jaw. This is the Bone Thread, and I'll see you all in the next video.